Welcome back, David. We're very excited to be hearing from you again. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's been crazy last 2 years. One of the biggest ever movements in the world started about Palestine and Gaza. But today we'll talk about Zionism itself and Israel and the influence of Zionists, or what people call Israel, around the world. And many people are, of course, being anti-Semitic, but that's spreading, yes, worldwide. Which is a concern, which is a genuine concern. It's like for the actions of, let's say, what's going on in the Middle East, many people seem to not understand the global picture. And for example, many people are now linking the low birth rates of the white Europeans, something to do with Zionism or other things. So we'll go through some of these things and the secrets of the Philosopher's Stone. Yes? What do you know about the Philosopher's Stone?
Yes, so what I do know about the Philosopher's Stone is that they always claim it's about two things. One thing is they say it's about turning lead into gold, and the other thing is that it's associated with immortality. That's, I think, the two
Yeah,
main ideas.
turning metals to gold and things like this, and the connection with Mercury. Do you know about a few of these things, or not really?
Not in detail. There's all kinds of stories and ideas about it, but I can't tell, what's real or what's what.
Okay. Okay. One, I'll start with a few things. Like, now that you know a few more things, you've noticed that in Northern Europe, Northwestern Europe, Germanic peoples, in many villages in Northern Europe, they've got the Turkish flag, which doesn't make sense. Did you notice this?
Right,
Yes?
you've shown this, yes.
Yes. And no matter what, because people want to believe in the fake history, the fake nationalism, and all this garbage, they want to believe that Europe was Christian under the Vatican and things like this a few centuries ago.
Of course.
And but the reality is it a fact? And it's clear that the people were wearing the chapeau or hijabo, or the shiapa or the hijaba. Were people wearing this in Europe just 70, 80 years ago? The majority, yes or no?
Yes, it very much looks like it. Yeah, from all the pictures
Not
we've
looks like
seen.
it.
Yeah,
Is it a
well, from
fact?
all the pictures that we've seen, yeah, there's many with the
Oh,
headscarf.
do you think I made this up? You
No,
can see old
no, of
old
course
women
not.
in Europe still covering their hair when they come out.
Of course,
And,
yes.
and yes, so now people talk about white culture. Yes, and they're talking about saying that the white race used to be 30% of Europe. People are mentioning it, of the world, and now it's gone down to about 7% and going down. Okay, and people want to say Europe wasn't Muslim, but what does the evidence show when we see all these Arabic coins which say there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger? Where are they found? In Northern Europe, or are they found in Latin America or in China?
Yes, most of them are found in Northern Europe.
Northern Europe, and what type of people live there? The white Germanic races, or the Africans, or is it the Japanese?
Well, today they would say the white Germanic races. The question is, of course, if
Well,
they've always been
we know
white.
that it's a fact that they lived here, and they still do. It's because of the climate, so it makes your skin color go wider. And we could see how people left the children outside. There was a deliberate policy to bring people from the south to the north to make them wider. We went through this. Do you remember?
Yes, we did.
Yes. And the thing is, they pushed the history back 1,000 years, showing that the peoples were naked in Europe, the barbarians, the Germans. But from the evidence that you could see, does it look like that they pushed it to the Dark Ages, 8th century and 7th century, or does it look like the people were still naked in the 16th, 17th century, and that the elites were living in these small walled castle cities? Is
Yes,
this what the evidence shows?
this is what the
Yes.
evidence showed, and we even have reports, even from commenters, that say still in 1950 or something, many people went to school without shoes and so on. So
Yeah,
shoes
yeah,
and
we
before
can
that
see
even
it.
clothes seem to be a quite
So
recent thing.
now we will go through the Philosopher's Stone and alchemy. So alchemy basically is the symbolic union of male and female in philosophical contexts. Yes, and they call it the magnum opus or the great work. And what do you know about the great work from my books like the Matrix Codes? What is the great work or the triangle?
I should know.
The
No,
great
I'm
work,
not
the
exactly sure
pyramid.
what. Well, I've heard of it and I've read it in different books and so on.
The symbol of the male and the female and the great work is the pyramid or the triangle or the trinity and the three, the father, the mother, and the child, or the father, the mother, and the son. Yes. So now when we go through alchemy and the Philosopher's Stone in the philosophical context, because they speak about it in this way so that because nobody really wants to talk about it, it's basically sex, it's getting rude. Yeah. But we'll get straight to the point. So the Philosopher's Stone in alchemy basically is the union of the red king, yes, and the white queen. So now when you think about it, the sun represents male or female, and the moon represents male or female. Which one? Everyone knows this in philosophy.
Yeah, the moon represents female, and oh, the sun, as in the sun, the solar
Is the
whatever,
male.
is the male. Yeah.
Yes, is the male. Yes, that's why we see December the 25th, the sun goes down, the Son of God is dead, and it's the male. It's the child. Yes, who's the male? And the sun is a fire, and the fire, is it red or is it yellow or is it green or blue? What color
Well,
represents the sun?
fire is usually
It's
represented
red.
red.
Yes. Yes, and the moon is what color?
Would be blue. I'd say blue or
Blue?
white.
Look at the
White.
sky. Come
White.
on. It's white. So it's the red king and the white queen. This is the philosophy they tell you. And so the alchemic wedding is when you mix them both together. So now I want you to remember a red background. Now put that in a flag. And now put the moon there and put the child there. The child enters the moon, the phases of the moon, which is Mercury. Yes, the planet Mercury. And which flag is that? The star, the sun, and the moon. The red flag. Which country has this?
Oh, I wish I knew now. A red flag and a star and a moon. Oh,
And the
Turkey.
moon.
Turkey.
Yeah, or which religion?
Well, Islam, in a way.
Yes. So now you're beginning to see what Islam is and who has the highest birth rates basically around the world.
Hmm.
Who?
Well, generally speaking,
What did they say generally?
countries
Okay,
countries
well,
that have
generally.
Muslim population. Yeah. Hmm.
Muslim populations, because they are following the secret of the Philosopher's Stone. And that is the science of the Kaaba. I put it in my book, Science of the Kaaba, whereby, yes, if you follow the secret and you've created the gold, you've created gold. And the Philosopher's Stone, you could say basically it's the woman's heart or the man's heart, or some people are saying, oh, the Kaaba is spiritual. Okay. And they talk about Christ and the temple is spiritual. But one, can you create a child without a physical body? Or is it a spiritual child? Is a child actually a physical thing? It's a
Yes.
physical thing. That's why many of these people, spiritualists, and they said, oh, we thought David's going to preach spirituality. I'm not, because we've actually got a physical human body. And so the Philosopher's Stone or the cornerstone in symbolic meanings and everything, it's like the stone the builders rejected, the cornerstone of Solomon's temple or the cube temple. Like when you read my book, 33 Degrees and the Secrets of the Kabbalah, all these things, then after that it becomes simple. So the alchemy of the Philosopher's Stone is that it's a mythical substance, or the human sperm, that can turn base metals, yeah, all the elements, into gold. And the actual gold is giving birth to a child or a baby. So that's why the Orthodox Jews, who also have a high birth rate, 3, 4, 5 children, sometimes even 6 or higher, many Muslims too. Yes, it's because they are following the same system. Now, if you don't, now the truth is, when you look at Europe 100 years ago and you see their dress codes, you can see that they're following the system of the Philosopher's Stone. And this is what the Muslims are today. That's why they've got a high birth rate. Now, in the West, instead, now let me tell you what the West is following now. And they've been brainwashed to believe that, oh, they were Christians. So what is Christianity? I'll explain to you the original sin. Now, the original sin is Adam ate the apple. Nobody wants to talk about the apple. Basically, it's the tip of the penis or whatever, or the women's breasts, the two apples. For the woman, it's the penis, basically she entered. And so then there was blood everywhere. They found out they were naked. It doesn't matter if you're reading the Torah, the Tanakh, or the Bible, or the Quranic text, and the snake is the penis, basically. People will say these things. I'm being honest to you, but nobody wants to speak about it. So they did it without permission, without the organization and understanding the concept of the Philosopher's Stone. So then you see Abraham trying to sacrifice or kill the child. It doesn't matter, there's different versions of it. I'm not here for a religious debate. I'm trying to explain why the populations are going down. So now the thing is, what they turn around and say, the Virgin Mary, she's a virgin. So now she had a child. Now, if a virgin has a child and can't produce the father, now in the West, what are you going to, what do many people call a child without a father? It's a horrible sentence, horrible word. But what will they say the child is? You don't know your daddy, so you are a what?
They call it bastard.
Yes. So now the thing is, this is an understanding of the story. Now, in the sense of morals, yes, in the Quran it says, you don't know the actual story, so you've got no right to accuse her. Bring forward 4 witnesses to show that she committed this crime of, sexual crime. So now many people, it's like they say, the moment that you do this in the Bible, you're going to die the same day. I'll explain to you why. Now, every woman, every man knows this, that the moment they've had a child, I've not had a child, and I can see it in many people's faces. They've had a child. You could see that something has changed in them. They're never the same. I've got a friend. He likes going out. And he's had children, he's married. I'm telling you the truth here. And the thing is, he can't feel young. After he got married, he didn't cut his nails, brush his teeth, anything. He felt like he was dead. There was no reason for him to live apart from looking after the gold, the Philosopher's Stone, whereby you're born again, eternal life. And that's why we falsified world history, because you've given birth to a child and you've created gold, and you don't want them to know the horrible past. Unfortunately, the past of the world is horrible. Now, when you've given birth when you've had a child, you want to protect them from all the evils in history. So you're going to lie. And this is the reality of the reason why the New World Order lied. Now, there is my book, The New World Order. They're lying, yeah, I'm sorry if you don't like it. But the thing is, when you have a child, you actually do these things. Now, many of the pro-Palestinian supporters are people who've not had a child, and they could feel the pain. But when people have had a child, they're different, and they think in a different way. People have noticed this. They think of security. Oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to teach this child? How do I want to bring him up? And you become worried. And there's many things. I'm not on anybody's side here. I'm trying to explain what's going on, and then we'll talk about Zionism and why it's many people have hijacked Zionism, and there's many different factions. Like, you could have 100 people in the city. One's a rapist, one's a criminal, one's a banker, one's just a nice worker, one's your nice neighbor, Fred or Bob or whoever. Yeah. And so the thing is, you have 100 people. There's people doing different things, but and we'll go through one of the beautiful parts of Zionism or Sunnism or Christianity and other things, even though some people will say it's a fake. But we'll go through the temple of the physical body and the physical representation of why there are people pushing for a temple in Jerusalem, and why that could be a beautiful idea if the world goes towards this. Instead of saying, I support Israel, I'm only on this side, or I support Holland only for the Dutch people, or Ireland only for the Irish, or Scotland and they'll only for the Scottish. But then we'll say, Scotland's borders were created by the English people. Oh no, the English have got to get out of Northern England. Yeah, and then the English nationalists who are saying, hey, we want all the foreigners gone. Okay, then you bring all your English people back from the other parts of the world. I mean, where does this stop? And things like this. You know, so the purpose of a temple in Jerusalem is a temple of love. And there's some people who want to hijack it to create it into a new world order temple and things like this. But if they can make a temple in Jerusalem by a common agreement to unite Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, and remove all the wars and remove the Vatican out of this scenario and all the businessmen, then we've got something whereby we can make something beautiful. And unfortunately, I can't stand Donald Trump or Netanyahu. I've even, if you want to call people bastards, you know, I would like to give them that term. But the thing is, I can't stand them. But when you look, I can't stand what's going on in Gaza. To me, it's just murder. But the thing is, you know, now, yeah, and we've all shown our anger, and the new year is here, and we've got to move on and think of a way for the world to coexist and make the world a beautiful place. And there's the question of digital ID and all these things. I mean, Japan has been taking fingerprints for years. 10 years, maybe more. I've been going there, so is China. And they take your photographs, fingerprints, digital ID, everything when you go there. And shall I be honest with you, I went there and there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, and people are complaining we're bringing it to Europe and America. There's nothing wrong if you're not a criminal. There is absolutely nothing wrong. Yeah, I mean, crime actually happens. And the thing is, many people are saying, oh, England and the West has got more crime now. Actually, crime is half in most of Europe and America compared to what it used to be in many different crimes, violent crimes, hospital injuries, and many other things compared to 10, 15, 20 years ago. Believe it or not. Yes. But anyway, back to the Philosopher's Stone. So the population is going down because people have given up these concepts of philosophy. And then, unfortunately, people are saying these are rituals in these Jewish religion, Muslim religion. But the thing is, these practices actually work. They've actually worked. You know, the Orthodox Jewish prayer system, the Sunni Islam system. If you don't like it, I don't care. I'm telling you the reality. Has it worked, Raphael? Have they got an actual birth rate whereby they can replace their own people? Yes or no?
Yes, yes. In terms of sustaining population, has definitely
Yes,
worked.
and going up. And Europe's population was going up. Do you think it was going up with the current system? Even
No,
though, people, people are going to say, oh, yeah, there was there's you know, chemicals that reduce fertility, but the same chemicals are in Muslim countries too. By the way, is their population going down? Yes or no?
no.
No. So if you're going to blame it on vaccines, they're getting double the vaccines what we're getting over here. To World Bank, World Aid, this, that, and everything. And is their population going down?
No.
So it means that the entire system of what they're doing is they're following the suicidal path. And this is the path. Let me explain. So what my friend used to do, he soon started denying that he had a son in his brain. And therefore, he could go out there and he could start again and feel young. In other words, he's looking for the love of his life. He denies that he found his love and he's got a child. And therefore, he had to believe that his son is dead. And that is the concept of the Trinity, whereby we are all the image of God. So therefore, you are God, and God split himself up you know, into man and woman. So therefore, you became a creator. The concept of the 33rd degree. You've read the book. It's the concept, the human concept, whereby you've created and you've become a god yourself. Yes. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Yes. So now, because you're God and you've created a child, what does that make your child? The son of God? Yes or
Well,
no?
yes, sure.
Yes. So my friend started to believe that the Son of God is dead. He's been crucified or killed. And that's what they're doing in the West. Abortions or the man and the woman split up because they can't make it survive. They can't because they don't follow the philosophy and the concept of the Philosopher's Stone, which actually works. If you're going to say, hey, it's oppressive, so what? I'm not here to whatever. It's not a question of oppression. You do it by mutual consent. That's why in Islam, And in Orthodox Judaism, Sunni Islam, they sign a contract of marriage whereby you're going to create the Philosopher's Stone, whereby you've got eternal life and you're living on. Whereas in the West, these people, they've gone against it and their populations are dying. And many of them, what do? They actually do kill the Son of God. Abortions, are they doing it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, and they're going to turn around and blame it on just because. I'll give you an example now. If you're going to have um, let's say, you know, 1 million American women who don't want to have a child and 1 million American men who don't want to settle down because they like the economy, because we're robbing the rest of the world and you've got all these extra freedoms. Now, just because a Jewish lawyer is going to campaign on their behalf and say, hey, it's their freedom, it's their body, and it's their right that they don't want to have this child, does that mean you can blame the Jews for this? Or is it because they've given up the concept of the Philosopher's Stone?
Well, as
Which one
with
is it?
everything, there is supply and demand. So,
Yeah, yes. So now the thing is, who do you blame? Now, there's some people out there, I like drinking. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want the supply of alcohol to be stopped. So now the thing is, just because a Jewish company is supplying the alcohol, does this mean that they've done something to me? Or is it me?
well, there is always individual responsibility as well, of course. Yeah, sure.
Yes. So now the thing is, you know, there's people out there who are trying to spread conflicts on purpose. Now, if you want to, now the thing is, that's why Christianity is actually the truth. You've killed the Son of God. And then, but what is the concept of born again? So now in your mind, you've believed that that's not your son. The son is dead. Then you go and ask God, which is yourself. Yes, because you are originally a son of God anyway, and you ask for forgiveness, and your son, yeah, who you said who's a bastard and you denied him, he sleeps with somebody and he has a child. So now you're a grandfather. So therefore you've been born again. That's only if you're lucky that that person goes out there sleeping around because you didn't teach him and bring him up with the morals of how humanity works or how philosophy works. Are you beginning to see? So that's what the Philosopher's Stone is. The primary belief that the stone could transmute these common metals, such as lead and mercury, which is red, into precious gold or silver. And it's going to cure diseases and everything, because your son is actually, your baby is actually you, that you've come through there. That's why it says in the Bible that Jesus Christ repeats, saying, does it not say you are gods? So these things are said in metaphors, you see. And so mercury is the red color is the most important element in alchemy, because it's believed to be the first matter from which all of the metals were formed. And all these substances are basically in blood. Yes, the woman's blood, or in your sperm, basically when they mix together. You see? So that's what the flag of Islam is, or Turkey, which is the main caliphate. You see? Are you beginning to see it now?
Yes.
So those people who are hating this Islam and something, they think it's about our religion and things like this. It's not. That's why Muslims, do they actually, when you ask a Muslim and say, is this a religion or is this a way of life? What do they reply out of the two?
Well, I'm pretty sure they'd say it's a way of life.
That's what they actually do say. So now I've explained to you these things. So now when people pay attention, you know, around December the 17th or just coming up towards Christmas, yes, the crescent moon lies near Mercury. Yes. And so it's like that's why you have the Mercury, the planet Mercury, and things like this. And people will say it's pagan worship, and they'll say, "Oh, that's a woman's vagina," and then the woman is dressed in black. And the thing is, it's because you're protected in Islam, and the black cloth on the Kaaba, or half black and half white, as we've seen. It's nothing to do with any of this pagan worship or anything. It's to do with life and death. And so now, if you are worshipping if you actually are worshipping the Son of God must die and he's dead. You see? And the other side is worshipping, don't break the cube, don't break the universe. Yes? because we believe in life. That's what the actual system is about. Now, the other system has been created so that you can actually be forgiven and be born again. But that means that you have to go back to the system of the sun, or the system of the light, or Sunnism. And that's what Zionism is, or Zionism is, in the global context, whereby you bring both sides together, because nobody is perfect. You can create the Philosopher's Stone and you can cheat. So now, if you are God and the woman is God, if you're both God, and the thing is, do you think a woman wants to share you with another woman, or a man wants to share the woman with another man? No.
Generally, no.
That's why it is said in the Bible, the Lord our God. Let's say you are God. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. So you are both one, the man and the woman. And so you should love your God. Or, yeah, if you are God inside you, even in Hinduism, they believe it. That's why they say Mass in Catholicism, and they say Namaz in Turkish, or half the Muslims say it, or Namaste. Yes, I'm giving the mass to you, respecting you or the God within you. Yes. So therefore, if you are God, basically you shall, let's say that the man worships the woman. So therefore, in Sunni Islam and in Orthodox Judaism, apart from contract, you don't have a second wife or whatever and things like this, but you can, depending on circumstances. Yeah, because people used to live for hundreds of years before, 1,000 years. I mean, imagine being with a woman for 1,000 years. So marriage, how we see in Zionism or Sunnism, is based on contract. Yeah. You could set it for terms, 100 years. I mean, it's ridiculous if we're going to rebuild the world and use technology to live for 1,000 years. Can you stay with the same woman forever for 1,000 years, Raphael? And
I
if you're
don't
living
know.
for 1,000 years of having children, how many are you going to have? So that's why the concept of the Philosopher's Stone is serious. You see?
Yes.
Yes? Are you beginning to see? And so what the thing is, people are fearing digital ID. Yes, but it depends on who controls it. Now in the West, we've got all these freedoms, and the thing is, when we see something wrong, it's like I've spoken to rabbis recently, Muslim imams recently. I've spoken to Hindu priests recently. I've spoken to Buddhist priests recently, and I've spoken to many people. When I say recently, this year, all year. And the thing is, in the West, we've got all these freedoms. Now, the thing is, in the West, we could be sensible and realistic and build a beautiful world, or we could throw it towards destruction. Now, the thing is, there are many people, even I don't like it, many Jewish people have pointed out that they have helped civilization a lot in the West. Many of the movies, many of the human rights, they campaigned. That's because Western people wanted these rights. And they of course, campaigned things like this, where, yeah, does this mean that just because you wanted, there's many Western people who are gay? So just because Jewish people campaigned for it, does that mean that they were bad?
No.
Do you blame them for it?
Yeah, no, it's a, how should I say, there's always at least two sides.
It's like this. I'll give you an example. I'm in school. I'm seeing a big bully. He's bullying somebody who's smaller. Now the thing is, just because I'm sticking up for the person who's getting bullied, does that mean that I did this? Now I've made the bully back off, and I've made laws. I've managed to convince everybody else to see that it's unfair to bully this person because he's shorter and weaker,
Right.
and they're both from the same race. Does this mean that I've done something bad?
No.
No. So when people point out, yes, that many Jewish people and organizations are at the center of many human rights, yes. The thing is, it's like I saw this debate that there was somebody in Europe who turned around and said, I find it wrong for race mixing, that there's this white person who's in love with a black lady, and he's had children, and he said, I find him mental. And the thing is, I'm going to stop it. I mean, who are you to tell somebody else what to do? To another white person. Now, if that other white person wants to be with a black person, do they have this right or not?
Well,
I mean,
obviously they do, yeah.
well, I'm going to say they do, but the other white people are saying, no, he does not have that right.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Because
until they fall in love with someone of a different ethnicity. Maybe that's when they change their mind.
so the thing is, where are they going to go? Then the thing is, so all of these things, and yeah, Jewish people have been involved in migration and many other things. These things are coming out. Yes. And shall I be honest to you? But they were involved in the migration. Jewish people were involved in the white migration for white people to go and occupy Canada, the US, Australia. So now, if you're going to say Jewish people are involved in the migration of, black peoples, Chinese peoples into Australia, Middle East people into Europe, it's because many people want to migrate anyway for different reasons. Europe, they were fighting each other. Then, if some people are going to say, "Hey, Germany did very well and it economically grew by removing the Jews from Germany," not really. It's because Germany militarized itself. Now, the United States is really doing very well because it's a military industrial complex. And the military industrial complex is very profitable. But if you're making military weapons, you're going to have to use them and you're going to have to kill people. So Hitler would have had to kill people anyway. He turned Germany into a military industrial base. Who are you going to use these weapons on? Answer the question, Raphael.
Well, I don't know what the plan was, and you only have these speeches where you can listen to what politicians of the time claim they wanted to do. If that's correct or not, I really don't know.
But let's say in Europe or America, they get rid of the foreigners. You've got to build a military industrial complex now, to make the economies grow fast. It actually works. So once you've done that, you've got to use these weapons now. Who are you going to kill? The British Empire built a military industrial complex, and that's exactly what they did. They killed people all over the world. The Spanish Empire, military industrial complex. They went to Latin America. Now they think it's their dad's land. I mean, the English went, they think it's their dad's land in America. And now they're telling people, you get out from here, you're Jewish, or you're black, or you're Muslim. What about their people? And then they're going to say, yeah, the Jews were involved in the slave trade. And they'll point out, these videos are coming out, and they're pointing out that the Jews did a lot of it, yes. But then a lot of these people are not even really Jews anyway. It's because they've mysteriously become Jewish in the last 30 years in Hollywood. So on purpose, there is propaganda going on right now that if people wake up, they're doing this because if you can collapse the rules-based international order, there is a big plan to collapse the rules-based international order. And if that happens, they could bring about a new world order. Now, if a new world order comes, it could either be a dictatorship or continue as a rules-based new world order. Now, believe it or not, since the 1960s, the world in general, for many places, some places are poor, but still we've had relative peace compared to any other time in history that we could think of in the last 200-300 years. Now, in the West, anyway, we've got all these freedoms to speak and do many of these things. And yeah, there is a limit to freedom of speech. But the thing is, do we want this relative peace to continue? Or do we want
Well,
to
certainly.
destroy it? Me personally, I want it to continue. So I'm asking everybody in the world to wake up. Yes, there is lies by the government, but we do many of these inside jobs and many things. Same like when you play a joke with your pets in your house. And with my dog, I remember I used to pretend and run to make it chase me. I used to pretend I've got some food, and it chases you. It's an inside job, and then the dog finds out, that I played it. It's a conspiracy, and there was no food there at the end of the
Yes.
day. You see, but the thing is, I didn't mean no harm. So there is inside jobs happening. I point them out because I'm worried it could backfire and because I know many people actually know. So I'm not going to hide it. I'm not a liar. Yes, and I do know what they're doing in Gaza is ridiculous and other things, but let's have a look. Yes, Venezuela and Nigeria and Boko Haram. They're going to say, hey, the Islamists are doing this. No, if people follow what's going on, Europe, the white races, are going to lose a lot of money if Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, they form their currency union and they get rid of the French franc, which still really exists behind the euro in secret, which many Muslim nations are using as their base currency. And, the European nations are making profits, and the whites could just relax, carry on enjoying themselves, buying all these products and cheap food. Everything's basically free, beautiful roads and everything. So what happened is the US bombed Boko Haram, and there's videos. You can find them online. There's white European Anglo-Saxons who fly over to Boko Haram, giving them money and all these things to kidnap anybody. It doesn't matter if they're Muslim, Christian children, or anything to cause destabilization. And then there's many people over there saying Burkina Faso and all these people that are growing, they got rid of the white Europeans. Now we've got to turn around and think, hey, if we continue our oppressive systems in the third world, then we've got all this freedom. I mean, look, right now, you and me, we've got this time. Yeah, we've got this extra time. We could make these videos. Otherwise, we're going to have to work, Raphael. Yes. And people who are listening, you wouldn't even have this time. You would be in the other side of the world. I'm being honest to you. Yeah, it's an unfair trading system.
True. It's true.
Yeah. And the thing is, yeah, and the Jewish people, they've run it. And it is a fact. It is a fact that I'm not talking about the Zionists here now. What they're doing in Israel and what they did in Gaza is pathetic and it's wrong. And I wanted it to stop. And they've stopped it to a huge extent. When you look at my Facebook post, anybody will think David hates Israel so much. Wouldn't you say this?
Well, I know you don't. You're not so undifferentiated, but
yeah, you know
you
me
don't.
personally.
You don't like
Yeah,
war. You don't like
I
people
don't
getting
like
hurt.
the murders
Yeah.
that are going on and everything. But the thing is, I'm not going to stay silent when I can see they're doing these things these many of these things. And I am still going to stick by it. I don't care what many people say. Half the Middle East was empty. Isn't this what the evidence shows? 100 years ago, was it? Yes or no,
Yes,
Raphael?
absolutely. Yes.
Am I just making this up? So it was
No.
empty. Yeah, and you could see that the British and the French and everybody shipped over hundreds of thousands of people who had, 5, 6, 7, 8 children, and they intermixed with European Germanic peoples who went to the Middle East through the Balkans, who are now today called the Arabs. Isn't this a fact that they came recently?
Yes.
They also went to that land recently at the same time as the Zionists. Yes or no?
Yeah, indeed.
Yes. So now we've got to find a way, and I'm not for war at all, and I support, yes, if it works. If they have a secret agenda and I find out and it messes up, then I will oppose it at the time. But right now I support the Abrahamic Accords, and I like it that, the King of Saudi Arabia has said yes, he wants to sign it last month.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I like it that the Emirates have signed. I like it that Netanyahu is pushing for this, and even though he's betrayed a lot of the concepts, and he's made half of Israel mad, and destroyed Israel itself and the Jewish people for now. Anyway, the next 20 years, I don't like him for that at all. And basically, him and his cronies should be arrested for treason. Yeah, and the thing is, I'm going to tell everyone clear. I don't support a Palestinian state. Well, what is a Palestinian state? I do accept Palestinian freedom, and I do accept equal rights, same like South Africa. Yes, that the blacks and the whites, how Mandela did it. And in the same way, I don't think that there should be a Palestinian state at all. Sorry, no. What is it going to be? It's like you'll need training for institutions, for politicians, and many of the Palestinians. I give a lot of charity to Palestinians. I speak to them, and the thing is, many of the people don't understand democracy, and they don't care about democracy at all. They want their freedom, yes, and they want their human rights. So now I propose that Saudi Arabia and Israel and the Emirates and the Turks, they form the Abrahamic Union, and that is the Ottoman Empire, and that is Greater Israel. All of them unite, form their own single states, yes, and get it done as soon as possible. And they create the third temple by love, and by kindness, and by common agreement, as the Quran says. This, okay, they've changed the location of Jerusalem, but from what we can see from the historical records, was that the Muslims and Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad, I don't want many Muslims to say that I degraded him, they prayed towards the Temple of Jerusalem with their physical body, as well as they had something called zikr, and they have the spiritual Kaaba. They have both, yeah, with these crazy Quranists who are saying it's only that. No, it's not. What we can see from the Philosopher's Stone, study this more. The Philosopher's Stone and how to create gold, you cannot do it without a physical body. So there is the physical temple, and then there is the universal temple, yes, that you could see from the Platonic solids. And Muhammad was a professor, a prophet, same like Jesus Christ was a professor, a prophet. Yes. Now, can you see that there is the spiritual Kaaba or cube, and the universal Kaaba and universal cube, and there is the cube within people's hearts and the spiritual temple that Christ said the temple is within you. It's all of them. It's like when you unite them all. And so now, when you unite it all in a symbolic way, the Muslims, the Christians, and the Jews, if they did this, will get rid of a lot of the hatred in the world. We won't get rid of it all. I mean, when you look at in India, all these wars and everything, and many other things, but between Christians and Hindus, which is very huge, and Christians and Muslims, we'll be able to get rid of a lot of this. And we can get rid of the Vatican forever, because Albert Pike and many others have pointed out basically the Ottoman victory. If you go through it, I don't know if I've talked about it to you before. Maybe we never had time to make a video. But the Ottoman victory of the East over the West is the day they create this temple, because Christ prayed towards this temple. But you get rid of the moneylenders and the businessmen, which I
Right.
want to happen. You get rid of the politicians, and you have a spiritual temple, and it's basically like the Muslims have the Kaaba in Mecca. You can have both or just have one, but let's get a temple by common agreement. I mean, isn't the Quran actually says this itself, in case any Muslims want to object? Yes, it says the world's religion was one, until people started debating and fighting and trying to define what is the essence of God. Oh, by the way, when I've said man is God and this and that, I'm not saying that man is God. I'm trying to explain the concept of the Philosopher's Stone, of how it's discussed within the context of the Kabbalah. I know God is God. Yeah, I'm not here to debate this. Yeah, I'm trying to explain it in simpler terms, that many people have found it difficult. I found it difficult, but because we don't do many interviews, and I can see that if our current system collapses and we don't move together, we're going to have another reset. It means we're going to go back to the 1800s, and then we'll have to pretend and make fake history again. And people who don't have money and everything, they're going to be back to square one. We're going to see a world war blowing up things, and nationalists, everybody, people are, and the people, even the nationalists who want to say, oh, this land, French for the French only, Spain for the Spanish only, Germany for the Germans only, Russia for the Russians only, Arabia for the Arabs only, Israel for the Israelis only, India for the Hindus only, China for the Chinese only. If we're going to have all of this, in the end, those same people, they're going to follow the 33rd degree. They're going to follow the concept of the Philosopher's Stone, and they will force their peoples to go back towards following the Sunnah, which is a Germanic word, which is following the Sunni system or the sun. and go back to thinking, hey, our races need to increase their populations, and they are going to follow the same system. That's why the Masons, there was many right-wing Freemasons, even within the Nazis, they followed the concept of the cube and the cross and many things. That's why they had their cross awards and everything, that they know that you don't break the spiritual cube and you follow the philosopher's system. You see?
Yeah.
I don't know, but have you now begun to understand the secrets of all these religions and all these other things and what's going on? Yeah, we've been talking. I'll let you speak. I've explained quite a lot of things. Now, what do you have to say?
Well, I would not claim I fully understand anything, honestly, because of course these things have many complexities and intricacies. But in terms of the basic definition and the basic difference, let's say, between what we have in the West and what is taught within Sunnism, as you say, does I think I do understand, yeah. And
It's
ultimately,
not understand. You've seen the evidence yourself. We
right,
didn't make any of this evidence up. We saw the right-wing Christians who I found really dumb, that they're trying to turn and say, "Oh, these people were Christians." Yeah, which Bible was your great grandfather reading? Even the printing press didn't exist. We didn't have the capability to print these things. Yeah, and
yes,
then they're saying, oh, they went to these churches, but now the evidence shows these churches were just different types of factories. That's why they have different types of, churches or mosques. Many churches look like mosques, but different architecture, different whatever. They were industrial buildings. Yeah, we can see it.
yes, indeed.
And then they're going to say our ancestors were English or Irish or Scottish. These languages didn't even exist.
Yeah, and the countries didn't exist either in most cases.
Yeah. Yeah, they were Austrians, they were Swiss, or they were Italians. But then if you go inside Italy, the moment Mussolini tried to do the white races, it didn't work because you've got the Germanic races in Milan, then you've got another type of Slavic mixed race in Venice. Yes, then you've got this problem. The Venetians, they've wanted their republic for a long time, and they don't know where the limit to the race is. They don't know what. Then many you know what somebody Irish said to me. He said, "Yeah, the English nationalists. I like their idea that they want England only for the English." And he said, "Don't you? But it's time they took their own English people out of Ireland,
Yeah.
and they're in the north." But then when you turn around and confront the English nationalists, do you want them to come back home? Some of them, only a minority, will say yes, they should come home, but then the others say no, that's their land over there. Since when? And what about the English people who are in the north of England, and where does the border stop? And what about the English people? Yes, Jewish people thought it's a wonderful idea. They want to get out of Europe, and so many Jewish people facilitated it, took them in boats, Jewish business people, and said, "Hey, there's new land here." Yes, and of course, many people will say, "Hey, they used black slaves to help these Europeans, so that they could build a beautiful civilization over there." But then, the whites didn't really go to America, in the 17th, 18th century, huge amounts. Most of them went, we could see, by boats, because Europe became a shithole because of all these nationalists who were trying to define what is English, what is Dutch, what is French, giving vaccines to anybody who doesn't have this blue eyes or whatever. What is Norwegian? Yeah, what is Finnish? And they can't explain how people who look like Arabs or who look like Jews, or they just call them all gypsies and Jews, what these people were doing in northern Norway, who they called the Sami people and other people and everything, they couldn't explain it. How these Arab races or Indian races were living up there. Even I can't explain it. So when did the whites actually come to this northern Europe? And how did they actually even become whiter?
Exactly, yes.
Do you see? Yes. So if we're going to get into this race war and everything, which it's endless. It's really endless that we don't know where the limit is. I mean, the Belgians, they've got a dilemma that they turn around and
Yeah,
say
they got
one
a
group.
big one. The Belgians
Yeah,
especially.
one group doesn't have the blue eyes, and another group, and then the Dutch, we've got a problem there. Flanders and all these other things, and the Dutch, Germanic, which one's English, and one race has got the darker hair. I mean, where is this going to stop? The United Dutch Provinces didn't really happen, a few centuries ago. It only happened 100 years ago. Yeah. So we hid the history because it's a sad history that people started to think of these concepts and ideas, and they were killing their own brothers and neighbors, saying he's Dutch, he's got brown hair, but he's got brown eyes, but he doesn't have green, brown, blue eyes. You see?
Yeah, it's ridiculous to try to differentiate by that, and
You're
also,
saying it's ridiculous, but there's people out there who are saying I'm not ridiculous. I'm fighting for my own white, blue-raced people. And I don't think that anybody from my white, blue-raced people, yes, in England should marry somebody from France who's got light brown eyes. No, sorry. And I think that if they don't have this eye color or something, they should get out and go to France, or they should get out and go to Italy. We did this starting from the 1880s, and it set Europe on fire. And so now many people will say the Jews did this and that, but the Jews made mistakes. Yes, it doesn't mean all the Jews, and it doesn't mean it's the same policy. Yes, many of them were involved in slavery, but it was the whites who were actually doing the slavery, and yeah, the Jews participated, and many of them profited from it. But then the Jews reversed their actions, and they helped the civil rights movement. Yeah, they profited from it, but they reversed their actions, and now it's known. It is well known that now half the Jews in the world, yes, are support Israel and genocidal things, and the other half of the Jews actually genuinely care about human rights, are genuinely nice, and they care about everybody in the world. That you will see this, that they're in the center of many organizations and many things because they actually care. Now, imagine I want you to imagine right now. You know what? This girl said this to me. Yes, a girl said this to me from England. She's fully white. And she said, I had an abortion. Yeah. And she said, the right wing doesn't believe in abortions. And they're saying we're killing off the English race. And she said, but the guy who I slept with, he's sleeping with other girls. Now, I don't like this. Now, where is the limit in this? And can he be a father? He couldn't be responsible. And he won't stay with me for the next 50 years. But he can't because they've not brought him up in the system of the light of Zionism or Sunnism, or what the Orthodox Jews follow, a different version of Zionism, whereby you have to follow and you bow down to the universal Q or to the universal God, whereby you don't share. And in love, you don't share. You love God with all your heart. And if you've got, the Spirit of God, and the woman's got it within her, and you've signed a contract, and you've created life, same like God created life, because in Islam, they'll say God gave you the capability to create this life, whereas in Kabbalistic things or in right-wing Christianity, they'll say, no, you are God because God's Spirit inside you, and that's the child of God.
right.
And then the thing is, okay, if you say this, then the thing is, shouldn't you respect that and not share? You should love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and your strength. Now, that is something that men don't want to do. It's not a question of racism. All over the world, they don't want to do it. Now, to create this Sunni Islam and to make people follow it, it's so difficult that you even see many Muslims don't want to follow it. They want to cheat. They don't want to follow this system of Sunni Islam. Many Orthodox Jews, they don't want to do it. It's difficult. And so this girl said to me, can you imagine right now that you're pregnant and a baby is growing and it's eating your body, because that's what sperm does. It's eating you and it's growing bigger. It's eating your body inside you. Can you imagine this for 9.5 months? And then she said, not just imagine. She said, stop. Start feeling an insect is inside you. It's eating you. I want you to do this right now, Raphael. It's your body. Now, do you have the right to abort it? Yes or no? And it's killing you. It's eating you inside.
I mean, technically it shouldn't be killing you, but definitely, yeah, it's using your
That's
resources
how
and
you
everything.
feel. I'm imagining it right now. Sorry for screaming. I'm imagining something is eating inside me and an insect, and it's fucking growing. Ha! and I don't want it to continue. And it's my body. Do I have the right to abort it? Yes or no?
I usually would never say this, but the way you're putting it now,
This
I can
it's
follow
the
the
actual
logic.
truth. So now the concept of the Philosopher's Stone is this. Now in Orthodox Judaism and in Sunni Islam, they've done this. You need to give that woman a lot and a lot of love. And they're saying, oh, they're repressing women's rights. Basically, they're giving her everything in the house. They're doing everything for her
Right,
like a slave.
right.
Now you're beginning to see. Because pregnancy is a difficult job. Now in the West,
Yes.
what they've done, they've followed the system whereby the Son of God is dead, or basically kill it. Yes, he shall be crucified, he shall die, or otherwise your sin won't be forgiven. You see, because it's a sin. The woman is now saying, you're killing me, because now you're not providing everything for me. You've got to give so much. It's unbelievable that let's look at Sunni Islam. They have to give the woman thousands of dollars. They call it the bridal gift. What do they call it? Dowry. Yes. Or in India, it's the other way around, because the woman is protected so much and she's given so much, so the woman has to give the man dowry. Yes. And in some Orthodox traditions, so that then the man can prepare to actually be a slave and work, because he's got to
Yeah.
love his God, or the woman is God, or the moon God and the sun God, and the gods come together. Yes, and then when you've got that child, you've got to lie to it. Now, I know that if I've got a child, sorry, I'm going to lie to that child. I mean, how am I going to tell them about the evils of the world? I'm gonna have to change world history. What would you do now? You've created the Philosopher's Stone. You're going to have to protect it. And that's the cube. That's the Kabbalah. And now the thing is, the Muslims have created Sunni Islam. I've always, what did I say to you? Yes. Is it the greatest form of Kabbalah? Yes or no?
Yes.
And it's successful. It's successful. And they've preserved the biggest lies in the Quran. And then the rest of it, that's it. You know, the rest of it, it's like it's too horrible. Rape, murder, torture. Now many people are making videos. They wouldn't do it before, saying the Jewish involvement in the communists, when they saw what happened in Western Europe, the Jewish people are in Europe too. So they wanted to kill the Jewish people, throw them out. Yeah, and it's a lie saying that they got thrown out of 109 countries, 109, which is 19.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
see this. Yes, it's fake history. It never happened. The
Yes, yes.
Jews were called the Musulmans. They were the Muslims anyway. Yes, and so Zionism is global Sunnism, and it's global life. And now that you can see what Sunni Islam is and what the cross really is, the cross is supposed to be Tau or Tai, or the Tai, or you die. It's supposed to be for when you die. It's not supposed to be for life. The sun is for life, or Sunni Islam. And then if you mess up, that's when you go for forgiveness. And that's when you go to the throne of God or to the cross. And you ask for forgiveness because you fucked up. Yeah? Because you denied and you killed your son. You see? So now you need your son to be born again. Are you beginning to understand?
Hmm.
And therefore you must follow the system of the sun or the light. This is just pure philosophy. And these are scientific systems. And you saw what the Sunni system is. Is it a scientific system based on science? Yes or no? You
Yes,
read my book, Science of the
yes,
Kaaba.
yes.
So now you tell me I've given all the secrets of everything away. And so now I've come out with it today, and I'm going to tell everybody, stop the racism, stop the Islamophobia, stop anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism, it's real, it's very big. Now the thing is, just because you can see it, and people are going to say the Muslims come, they try harder, they work harder, yes, and they build businesses, and they've done this. They're not stealing jobs. They'll work double. When their people came at first, they worked double, so they had more money. And then they're going to say, hey, Jewish people, when they do Jewish banking, they don't charge each other interest, and the Muslims do this too. It's the same thing. So now in the global banking system, what did they do in the West? They created a banking system where it's only a few percent, and they want to make it even lower. That eventually, when we have the global banking system, that when it says you'll own nothing and you'll be happy, basically you'll own nothing, but you'll own everything. That's what it's about. And it's not global, it's global communism with global freedom, or global socialism. That if you go to China, that many people say, yeah, a Jewish guy. Yeah, what's his name? I forgot his name, with the glasses, who signed the deal to open the door for
Kissinger?
global. Kissinger, yes. And he said it's one of the greatest experiments. And has it worked? Now, yes, in China, the social credit system, there's problems with it. It's not, there's faults with it and everything. But so far, the majority of the Chinese people, when you talk to Chinese people, the majority, do they hate their government, or are they proud of it and they love it and they're nationalists, that they actually like the system that's been born there? The majority. The vast majority are happy. Probably about 20%, up to a quarter, are not happy. And the thing is, but the economy is getting better in those regions and they're getting happier. It's going to take time until we get economies of scale, and so that basically people will have everything, but they own everything, but they don't own nothing, but they're going to be happy. So in China, they've got communism, which is socialism, but they've got a free market that people can buy, own their own things, and it's affordable and everything. And the thing is, yes, prices are rising in many places, but the thing is, we're learning from the lessons. And when it says that you'll own nothing, it's in the sense that right now prices are ridiculous. And the thing is, you can't blame this on the Jews. Yes, to buy property. And they'll say in the 1960s and everything, prices were cheap. Yeah, but who sets the prices?
Right.
Who sets the prices of the houses? Are you going to try and say, oh, the Jewish people forced me to sell my house at double to what I bought it from 20 years ago? Or is it because you wanted the money?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You brought the house at, let's say, $100,000, or 200,000. I'll just pretend 20 years ago. So now that the market is selling it at 200,000, 20 years later, nobody told you to sold it at 200,000. The market price is 200,000. But if you were honest and you wanted to stick by your principles of white nationalism to help your white brothers have and build a family and buy the house, why don't you sell it at $100,000, mate? Yes, Raphael.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Sure.
Yeah, and you pointed this out to me. Yes, I'm saying the Muslims are having babies. There's more Mohammeds, and the Jews are having more babies. I would like to ask all these people who are saying this, why don't you go and have a baby? You said this to me, actually. Yes. So I'm asking the listener who's there, who's trying to say that European races are going down, why don't you have a baby? Why don't you stay with that woman? Why don't you teach her how to make a marriage work? The concept of the Philosopher's Stone, which has got nothing to do with Muhammad or Islam or anything, but have a look into it and you'll see that Europe followed the system of the Philosopher's Stone. That's why the population went up. Then they threw it out of the window saying, hey, now I've got cash, I want to enjoy myself. I mean, why should I stay with one woman? Yes, now that the New World Order has been set up and the white person benefits, I could sleep around, I could travel. I'm a white person wherever I go in the world. People treat me like a god. Yeah, my passport is above everybody else's. And so if they're saying this is a Jewish world order, what does this look like? A white world order or a Jewish world order to you, Raphael?
It's difficult to say.
I'm being honest with you. Tell me realistically.
Well, it's obvious that everyone in the West has, like you said, superior privilege,
Benefited.
superior
They
financial
benefited the
capacity.
most. Yeah, and they're enjoying themselves so much that they threw the Philosopher's Stone out of the window, which is Sunnism or Zionism. And then they're going to say, oh, it's a third world thing. We down on these, or whatever. Yeah. And they look backwards to me. I'm the one who's upper class. I'm the one who's dressed in freedom. Okay, you keep your freedom. You keep it, and then blame them. In everything there is a crime. In every party there is a crime. In the nationalists there is a crime. In the communists there is a crime. In the feminists, yeah, there is a crime. In the business world, yeah, that the US Boko Haram, they did that to stop the currency for the whites to benefit. And also when the US stole that ship, Donald Trump, I knew what he was doing. The Venezuelan oil ship, saying, yeah, we're going to keep it, we might steal it, sell it, I mean basically steal it. So what does that do? Insurance shipping goes up. The insurance shipping market, people can check, global shipping is worth $30 billion. So all he's doing is just helping the price to go up. Ships worried. And yeah, Israel recognizing Somaliland, it's got nothing to do with anybody. They don't care. Israel did it because, basically it means America and Europe. So what does that do? It makes the Houthis go mad and other people to throw a few more rockets. And then who benefits from it? The shipping company is worth billions of dollars. So now the thing is, the shipping insurance goes up because they'll have to sail around Africa. So a
Right.
few companies make more money. Yeah, and the people who are working on the ships and all these things, the white European companies, nothing to do with the Jews. All the workers, their salaries and the managers and everything. People who are doing the faxes, the emails, everything, and they're worried about the shipping. Whatever, it's taking double the time. Their jobs continue, their salaries go up because all these Chinese and Indian and third world companies have to pay extra, and their profits go down, yeah, for the shipping routes and everything. But can you see what this is more to do with?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the American shale oil and gas is not profitable. You got to keep the price at
Right.
$60 or above, $70. So what do? The war in Gaza goes down. Yeah, and
Raise the
oh yeah,
price.
many people are blaming the Jews for the bombing of Gaza. Yeah, let's have a look at it. Jared Kushner went to the Saudis, and the Saudis paid $2 billion. Let's not forget the Emiratis, how much they're paying. Oh, we've got to stop, Palestinian freedom, or it means all the Arabs are going to wake up and they're going to have freedom. Yes? And if they all have freedom and democracies, then the Saudis want to carry on wars, and so do the Iranians. The Iranians pretend we care about Gaza, but the thing is, let's keep all these bombings and things, the price stays up. Now that the war is over, now we've got to find something new. Venezuela, that's it. Yeah, Russia has calmed down with Ukraine. They're talking peace because we can't just keep this charade up forever and things like this. So what do? Venezuela, the price goes up. We need the price to stay up for the next 20 years, at least, for the shale oil and gas. There's so many white Europeans in the US and Canada. They're enjoying the beaches. They want to go there, sit there, relax. They like the parties. They don't want to work, things like this. They don't want to do the farming. If you really look at all of these things, yes, Israel has done the atrocities. The Rockefellers are funding people like Greta Thunberg and all these anti-Israel protests, by the way. Do you know this?
But are they even real, or who are they exactly?
Yeah, they're business families. Yeah, they're a cover for other white families and other things.
Right.
So, George Soros and the boys, they hate Israel. Everybody knows. Yeah. The thing is, yes, and there is the problem in Israel. But the problem in Israel is there to keep the oil and the gas prices high. You read my book, New World Order, and you've seen the wars of Iran and everything. Is it for the last 50 years and Iran nuclear? Is it just a scam to keep the oil price high and to
Definitely.
make it go high?
It's all coded, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, coded, but who's making the money?
Whoever owns the oil or needs the oil to stay up
Yeah,
high.
we could see that these desert countries, yeah, they've all got like five, six, seven workers. I mean, in the Middle East, we've got 100 million, 200 million people who are living Western lifestyles. I mean, look at all the cities: Dubai Marina City, Dubai
Right.
City, Sharjah, Ajman, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, King Abdullah City, Riyadh, Jeddah, Qatar, Bahrain, Qatar Doha, Manama, and Oman. The thing is that they're profiting. But if who said they shouldn't profit? People in Europe and America, they're saying they could live without oil in the cars. Okay, give up the petrol things, but oil has got all these other uses, like all the roads and everything else,
Yes.
and they can't live without it. And the thing is, okay, yeah, you're going to have to pay for it. Yeah. Okay, we could do it without the wars. And the thing is, it's not coming from your countries. And you've got all these fruits in the supermarkets that are coming from, Muslim lands and all these other places. Why do you want it free in Europe? Yeah, go back to eating potatoes. And so the thing is, and they're going to say the Jewish people helped sustain the rules-based international order. Let's go back to the 1960s. Yeah, when London was full of smoke. Yes, when they were burning coal and many other things. And they're saying there's going to be free energy and everything. The thing is, free energy isn't really there. But if you want it to be there, use the solar mirrors. Yeah, it's coming from the African shitholes that you're calling a shit and everything. And then the thing is, the Middle Eastern people and the Jewish traders and Chinese traders are facilitating it. Yeah, the thing is, if you want the Jewish people and to leave the West, yeah, that's fine. Many Jewish people are saying, yeah, they'll join India, China, and Africa. They'll do that. And you can go back to eating potatoes and everything else. Australia and Canada have got, they're saying, is a mass migration problem of Chinese. Now, most of the Chinese who are coming, yes, the reality is, because from Europe, we can actually see that they're going to Canada, Australia, and the US and New Zealand, but they're bringing so much cash with them. Now,
Right.
if you tell the Australians that, they're going to say, rubbish, rubbish. If you tell the Canadians, the white Canadians, they're going to say, rubbish, rubbish. You tell the white Americans, rubbish, that's a lie, blah, blah. No, you can see this with your own eyes, yes or no. Are they bringing all these economic benefits to keep our white Western hegemony there? Yes
Well,
or no?
many certainly are, and anyways, you usually cannot
The
immigrate
vast majority.
into another country if you're not one of the more rich and well-educated class. Not all of them, but many, of course. Yeah.
Yes, but the thing is, the benefits are huge. Now, Jewish people have facilitated a lot of these things. Yes, it's because the thing is, Jewish lawyers, Jewish activists, because they get paid a lot of money. So if these people were poor, how could they have paid the Jewish activists and lawyers anyway?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Jewish lawyer. You could call me, And so now you've come to me and you're Africans who've got off a boat. Now I want money. So if you're not going to pay any money, why should I stick up for you? You African right,
Humanitarian reasons,
right,
but no, of course, it's
migrant right.
business. Yeah.
Wait a minute, I'm not making any cash.
Right.
So that ends the theory of migrants that are not benefiting the economy. It's a total lie. It is a total lie. And migrant crime, violent crime, and all sorts of crime have gone down by half.
Well, all I
And then
know,
they're
and I
saying,
know you've shared examples of this, but there is a recent documentary about some, let's say, fake university, more or less, in Germany, but where many people from India are being told, oh, look, just pay 5,000 here and pay all these student fees. You can study
yes,
in
and please,
Germany, but
wait,
it's not a real
wait,
university,
let's
and
go through
then they
more.
have to work for food delivery because they can't
Yeah,
afford it.
wait,
Yeah.
let's go to the heart of this. The Bretton Woods Agreement. The whites benefited from it because there was Jews who facilitated it. And the thing is, if that never happened, Europe and America could have never moved forward the way they did. And the Bretton Woods Agreement is basically over now. Yes? And the thing is, if they want the Jewish people to go, yes, then the thing is, the Jewish people are yes, highly educated because they've tried higher. I'm not saying that they're smarter or anything. I'm not saying anything, but there's many people who are saying this. Yeah, we'll go and we'll make other allies. Yeah, and the thing is, they also help the blacks have freedom and Muslims and everybody else. Yeah, the Middle East, we can't control everything because the thing is, it is a white industrial, military industrial complex, which is a fact. Yeah, and then the thing is, you can clearly see this. Where Netanyahu is going like a beggar, begging the industrial military complex, saying, "Give us this weapon, Donald. Hey, Trump, give us this weapon, give us that, give us this, give us that." And Trump and the industrial complex are boasting about this. Yeah, basically they had to go begging, and so the thing is, the Jewish people can take their contracts elsewhere. They could take it to China. They could take it to India, and everyone knows this. They could take it to Russia, or they could help the Muslims. They could unite with the Muslims. which is something that could happen, which is not a joke. And then the thing is, the Muslims are in the middle. And who said they have to trade with the Europeans? You see?
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, that sounds like a horrible statement, whereas the world is nice right now. Everybody trades with each other. People go to different parts of the world. There are millions of whites living in Latin America and the Middle East on retirement. Yeah, because they betrayed the Philosopher's Stone. And because nobody wants to look after them. And they've got servants in their houses. They're living in Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, Venezuela, Brazil. This is a fact. Do you know this?
Yes.
Yeah, Philippines, Vietnam, and many of these white men, yeah, on retirement, they're living there because they couldn't keep a marriage, because nobody believes in the system of the sun or the Philosopher's Stone, or how the science of the Kaaba actually works and the modes of worship, how they actually work. They don't follow it. So in the end, they were on their own. And yeah, so when they go to these places, it's a known fact that they're doing kiddie fiddling and pedophilia in Thailand, in Colombia, sleeping with child boys and girls and many other disgusting things in Morocco and in Egypt and in India. They're abusing people. It's well known, yes or no?
It is known. I'm wondering why it's not being stopped.
How are we going to stop it? Nobody wants to listen to the Philosopher's Stone, and they think it's some conspiracy and some whatever. Okay, you don't like it. Your population has gone down. There is no evidence your ancestors were Christians, and we can see that the evidence shows what religion were they? What does the evidence show?
Who, you mean, who was which religion?
The white populations of Europe.
Right.
Was Europe
Well,
Europe, or was that actually Arabia?
following the Sunnah, I guess you could say.
Where was Arabia?
It was Arabia.
Eurabia. It was Arabia. That was their religion. That was their language. And then when you look at the stars, yeah, we found many new stars, so we've given them names, or almost all the stars have got Arabic names.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, that's
because
true.
we can
Yes.
change languages, but the old language and the old science and the old understanding, the oldest language that I can see, yeah, you could see in astrology, all the stars have got Arabic names. The majority of what's there, what we can see, and because Arabic is Europaic or Europa, and it was the language of the educated people or the rabbis. Yes, and then there is some Ashkenazi Jews that are Eastern European, and many people are saying, yeah, they're Khazars or something. Fake history. There is no Khazar history. Then we've got the Germanic Ashkenazi Jews, or 100% Germanic. And so people are going to say the Anglo-Saxons, like you've seen Finkelstein, normal Finkelstein, yes or no?
Right.
Yeah, he's German. He's 100% Germanic. What are they going to do? Throw him into the Middle East and say, oh, he's from over there? And yeah, and the white nationalists, they do point out many of these people are Europeans. They're 100% Germanic peoples. Finkelstein's German. He's Jewish. Now, maybe his family converted. But there you go. We've got many families that are like this. We cannot let racism move forward, or we are going to see the collapse. Now, if one side does hate, now, as we saw from the Bible, punishment. God punishes you generation after generation. Now hatred continues for generations. Oh, by the way, many people don't know many videos for actually people should check this out. Many videos that are being anti-Semitic or promoting divisions in Europe and America are from different sides of the world, like you pointed out, the Russians. But I'll point out another source where they're making a lot of videos. You're going to be surprised. Guess who? Guess. India. Even I was totally shocked.
All right.
But then I saw many of these people who are working for Indian tech companies. Their aim is to destabilize Europe and America, and they're putting anti-Muslim things, pro-Muslim things, anti-Jewish things, pro-Jewish things, anti-white things, and pro-white things, and they're posting them on purpose from offices in throughout India, throughout Sri Lanka, and many other places. And many of them have been talking with things that you could see somebody passed on the indoctrination, saying, remember what the white man did when they occupied your country and they robbed a lot of resources. And the thing is, India cannot rise as a global power until the collapse of Europe and America. So if anybody thinks that hatred is not there, it's there. It's actually there. Now, the best way is what Buddha said, and who is Buddha? Gautama, Muhammad, Galyana, or whoever, or the Amida. When we go through the Buddha Isiddhartha, yes, is he Jesus or multiple Buddhas? And he said, hatred is not overcome by hate, but by love. Now, the thing is, yes, there is too many migrants. Yes, there is too many foreigners. We've got the Abraham Accords. Let's push for it. Let's push, not for a Palestinian state, not for a Jewish state. Let's push for the Abraham Accords so that the entire Middle East can come together as one place, and they could repair all the buildings so that the vast majority of the migrants who came in the last 25 years can go back. And if you want to call them Muslim migrants, they can go back. Yeah, in Australia, there's Lebanese. In America, there's Palestinians. In Germany, there's Arabs, Palestinians, this and that. They can go back. Let's repair the damage that the French did in the 1960s and 70s in Morocco, in Algeria, and in Tunisia, which was murder and criminal. Yeah, and you know, let's compensate them so that they could build their homes and that they could go back. Let's you know, repair the damage that the British did in India and in Pakistan and Bangladesh, and rebuild their homes and rebuild their economies of everything that they stole. The West is okay now. Yeah, let's help to rebuild the other parts of the world so that then the Indians, the Pakistanis, the Moroccans, the Algerians, the Bangladeshis, and everybody will go anyway. You see, in a nice way. We can have nationalism and we can have love, and let's build a global temple of peace. Yeah, even though Jerusalem has moved in the fake history, yeah, we've got a new Jerusalem now. And over there, many people want for the truth to come out, and the truth in religion. That it is a command in, let's say, for the Muslims, for instance, it's a command in the Quran that you shall make a common agreement. Make a common agreement. Find a common way, an agreement to unite, to end all the bloodshed and the hatred, basically. Yes, unite so that you can love God and love each other. It says this in the Quran, that you worship everything together. Make an agreement. So the agreement is up to mankind to make, based on the Islamic thing. Now, the thing is, on the Christian side, the message of Christ, yes, whether it's been changed or not or whatever, but from what I can see, it's a message of love. It's a message of love. And Christ was, you could say, you could call him Jewish, or you could call, the Muslims want to call him Muslim, whatever. Yes, but he followed the system of the Sunnah. He bowed down, we can see in the Bible, and he faced this temple in the old Jerusalem. Let's build a new Jerusalem and face that way. And from what the history we could see, yeah, Muhammad had the spiritual Kaaba, and there is the spiritual temple within you. Yes, and you know it, you've read the signs of the Kaaba. Yes, can you see it? That there is the universal temple, which is the universe. There is the global temple, which is our world, and how it scientifically interacts with the universal temple. And then there is the human temple, and how our body, yes, with the 33 bones interacts with the universal temple. Then there is the spiritual temple, which is within us, the spiritual cube or Kabbalah or Kaaba of Allah. So we've got basically four. That's why we say in the greatest commandment is love the Lord your God. You know, Shema Israel, Adonai Elohim. Yes, God is one. Yes, Adonai Echad or Ahad or Chod or God. God is God, or God is one God. Yes, and you shall love this Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and your strength is a body. So let's build a physical temple and let's unite and remove the differences. Yeah, you can believe that Christ, if you want to believe Christ is a vegetable, believe he's a vegetable. But Christ prayed towards that temple. Now, according to what we can see in the Quran, Muhammad faced a qibla, or a direction, yeah, towards the sky, and also, and it says that in the Quran it says that the world had one religion before, but then people started disputing. We can keep the disputes in our hearts, but let's build a global temple in Jerusalem by common agreement that we need, even this is a message for the politicians. Yes, to Netanyahu and to Erdogan, even though I think that, we need a change of faces, the old school, they've done enough crimes and they should go. Yes, and the new are going to come. And in the new, I think that we should all support a global temple of love, which nobody controls. Yes, and if people want to say that that the Jews control it, or the children of Israel. In Palestine, we showed this before, that the biggest family in that region, they are called Judah, because they are from the Jews, Judah. Yes, and the family, you call them Arabs now, but they're actually Jews. They're Judah. They're originally Jews. They hold the keys to the Holy Temple of the Sepulchre in Jerusalem. Yes, which is not even old, but it's 19th century. But it's a fact that they are Jews too. They came from Europe, and they resettled over there when the wars happened in Europe and nobody wanted to stay. Many people went over there, and many went to the Americas. Yes, I pointed out there's been crimes happening, and and the thing is, you don't forgive for the crimes. You can't forgive for a murder of Gaza and the Holocaust. Yeah, they've lied about many things in it, but murders did happen. Murders did happen in Eastern Europe. There was Jewish involvement. There was non-Jewish involvement. In the end, they stopped everything and they brought communism, because the nationalism, they didn't know where are the borders of Hungary going to end. And everyone knows that if nationalist wars break out in Europe, Hungary is going to invade Romania straight away if it had the power. Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
Hungary is invading
Not
Romania.
only Romania, all kinds of surrounding countries, and Austria could do the same.
Yeah. Bulgaria is going to say Bucharest is Bogaresti, Bulgaria. It is not a Romanian city. Bulgaria is going to say, hey, no, the partition of Bulgaria. Poland is going to turn around and say, hey, what are you talking about? This is Vlachia, ancient, Transylvania was part of Poland. The Greater Poland. Lithuania is going to say, hey, wait, hang on a minute. It wasn't called Poland. It was the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
Yeah.
But the Lithuanians were the main people. Yes, but then you're going to see the people in Bavaria who they're going to say, we were never Germans in the first place. Where does this stop? You see? And then the educated people will come out and say, oh, this modern German's a fake language. The Bavarian language is even older. These stories will come out, and then other people will say, shit, yeah, we've studied flamenco, we've studied David Ewing, English nationalists. Oh, this English language is fake. We've got to go back to Celtic now. What is Celtic language? And then that's got Hebrew and Arabic words. Then they're fucked. Yeah, then they're going to say, we didn't want the Arabs here, but now we're using, the Arabs created modern Arabic, which is another fake language, and the Quranists translate their Quran with it, and anybody who knows, like the Turks banned this fake Arabic language, same like there is the fake modern Hebrew. That's why the Orthodox Jews to this day refuse this fake Hebrew language, and they speak Yiddish, and they've kept the older meanings. Did you notice?
I didn't know like that so strongly, but that there is still Yiddish, that I know, yeah.
We discussed it before, but we didn't bring it out much because we focused more on Arabic. Yeah, there's many of the videos people have got to pay for, but if they watch them, they'll see many of these lies and everything. Anyway, today I've got down to the nitty-gritty. I don't want the New World Order to happen by the total collapse of the rules-based international order, what we have right now. Right now, the system is good. We can all contribute to improve it. That we can actually do this by peace. And I say that the Abraham Accords, which is happening right now, I ask people, don't think of a Palestinian state. Think of the Abraham Accords and join and create Abraham Accord protests, so that then we can have greater Palestine, greater Israel, greater Kurdistan, greater Turkey, greater Arabia, and many of the migrants can go home at the same time too, because they've created a beautiful union for themselves and a beautiful land. What do you think of my idea, Raphael? That is one of the ideas that the politicians are actually trying to do right now.
Well, to me,
And the thing is, but they've got an idea. It's a concept, but it's obviously, it's going to divert. The Turks have occupied Syria. Israel is scared if Turkish troops come to Gaza. Now, the thing is, I understand they're scared, but in secret, Israel and Turkey work closely together in many things. Now, if Turkish troops do go to Gaza, I think that is a great excuse for Turkey to join the Abraham Accords, and Turkey and Israel and Saudi Arabia and the Emirates to unite, so that then many of the Kurdish refugees who came, they can go back, because Israel campaigns for the Kurds. Everyone knows this. So there's many things the world can benefit from a Middle Eastern union through the Abraham Accords and by building the temple, and many things that the white races can benefit from if they realize what is the true secret of the cross and the Tau and the breaking of the cube, which is Judgment Day. That's why Tau is the last letter in the Hebrew alphabet. It's Judgment Day. Die. Tau, die. Yes, that it's the end of the cube or the end of the universe. You see? Yes, and that's why the sign of Jesus Christ, it says in the Quran, the sign of the last day or Judgment Day in the Quran, it says, is the sign of Jesus Christ. And that's why the verse of the throne of God, or the throne of God, is marked by X. That's why the kings had the coronation and they had a cross on their head. It didn't mean they were a Christian. It meant that they were sitting on the throne by the grace of God. You see,
yeah.
and they were that's how they got it in the Middle Ages in Arabia, Eurapia, and so that's what that's why in Islam the old Arabic is European. That's why they say the verse of the throne of God is called the verse of the kursi, or the seat of God, which is the cross. Yes, and the thing is, if you believe in death and you follow the cross, then you have the curse. But you must only believe in the cross only when you're getting to the end for the forgiveness. So that's what it's about, that you follow the sunnah and the lights, but if you fuck up, then you go to the cross because you've got the curse upon you. And that's when you believe, when you know and you admit your sins, and you say, Father, I have sinned, I'm accepting the cross because I killed my son. You see, or basically the Son of God, and you're asking God to be born again or for life, and you follow the sunnah then, or you have another child or a grandchild. Do you now understand all the global religions? It's actually one religion. Do you see it? And they separated these concepts. Can you see it? Not or not?
Yes.
Of in different stages in life, that if you fucked up and you aborted your child, or you gave up your child and all these things, then you must go to the cross. Yes. Or to the kursi in Arabic, you must face the throne of God. Now you could do it spiritually towards the sky or through your heart, or you could say, I've got a physical body too, I can't control my urges and all these other things, and follow the sunnah as a system until you graduate and you're capable, the graduation system. You can see all of this. Yes, all of it. Are you beginning to see it now? The graduation system, the Kaaba, and the stone, and the graduation stone, and the Philosopher's Stone. And the stone is in your heart. The Ten Commandments is in your heart, and all these things. The moment you study all of this, you begin to understand the global perspective. And that's why when they're saying a one world religion, it's not a one world religion, that whereby you can follow all the religions at the same time, that you pick and choose the best parts for you. No, I'm not saying that you pick and choose the message of God, which you want to say. If it's from God, you want to say that. Like many people have said, declare the Bible is from God or the Quran is from God. Me personally, if I want to believe, I can believe. Now, belief is a different thing. Now, religions ask you to believe. Now, maybe I might believe. Now, if somebody is asking me to say and declare that the evidence shows this is the word of God. Now, were they inspired by divine authority? Maybe. A lot of evidence shows that it has been inspired. And in that sense, In that sense, the universe came from God, the sun came from God, the moon came from God, I came from God, everything came from God, Satan came from God. All your thoughts came from God, the capabilities and the abilities, everything came from God. I'm not saying I'm a dualistic person. I'm just telling you, if you want to debate and argue, it goes on forever. So where is the limit? So I've said to people right now, stop the racism, stop the anti-Semitism, stop hatred against whites. And I would say to you that if you think that your race is dying out, and you say, "Hey, I'm from India and our birth rates are going down," or "I am a Turk. In Turkey, the birth rates are going down," it's almost, the birth rate is almost zero for the people who don't follow Sunni Islam in Turkey right now. Do you know this?
Maybe you
They're not
mentioned
even.
this, but yeah, it's amazing that there is such a difference even within the country, depending on the system they follow.
Depending, I don't want to call them religions. I'm calling them something that you follow. Like if the doctor gives you medication, you follow this, then you heal. So I'm being honest to you. The Sunni system, as you saw, it's a system to graduate. It's a system for marriage, how to bring up children, which is the Orthodox, true Zionist system, not the political Zionist system or the system of the sun and the light. Does it work? Yes or no?
Yes, obviously.
So I ask you, if you say that my race, yes, of people, inside Turkey, and we are the Alevis and the Shiites, and our race, we're not having any children. What are you going to do? Blame it on Jews? You're in Turkey, by the way. What are you going to do? Blame it on the Muslims?
Change the
Yeah,
system that is being followed, or at least adapt it so it becomes
within your
viable.
family, because the Sunnis are having children in Turkey. Oh, well, you see, so is somebody going to turn around and say it's a conspiracy in Israel? The Orthodox Jews are having 3 to 6 children, whereas the people who don't follow true Zionism or Orthodox Zionism, those who don't follow it, I'm not saying the Orthodox Zionists, that's political. I'm saying those who are not following this, their birth rate's 0 or 1 for every 2 adults. Who are they going to blame? Are they going to blame it's a Jewish conspiracy? Aren't they Jews themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, people can fight forever, or we can build a beautiful world. We've had the longest peace since the Second World War, or after the collapse of the empires, basically since the 1960s. And the thing is, if everybody understands the New World Order, then the thing is, we can build a New World Order, the public's New World Order. We can build a global temple in Jerusalem. We can all support it, and we could all get involved. I mean, why do you want to get involved in right-wing things and destroy your economies, or left-wing things and destroy your economies, and just create more hatred when Israel has seriously murdered and raped at the moment? It's going to take time to move on from what happened. It's unforgivable what happened. Same like the Second World War is unforgivable. And many of the actions that the communists did, and they spread a lot of hatred. I can't forgive it. The NKVD murders. I don't forgive it. I'm sorry. I don't forgive it. Yeah, what the military-industrial complex did in Iraq, I don't forgive it. Who've caused a lot of violence and murders. How can you forgive them? But what I am saying is that there's a lot of good Jewish people there. And there is the concept within Zionism of a great concept of building the temple. And we can do this right now to end all the religious hatreds. We can sit down, figure out things, remove the fake history. We can find the common things and unite our things. And if anyone's going to say, I'm speaking against the hardcore things of Zionism, I'm not, because that's what hardcore Zionism wants. If anyone's saying I'm speaking against Christianity, I'm not. That's what hardcore Christianity wants. Yes, evangelicals, the hardcore right wing, they want this global temple. And if anyone's saying I'm speaking against the Quran or Islam, I'm not. That's what the Quran commands. Make a common agreement and do this. So I'm saying if anybody is from those beliefs, you could do it. Yes, and let's calm 2026 down. We don't need to have all these protests you know, right wing, left wing, or for the economy. Things are beautiful as they are. Let's work hard. We don't need to do many of these things. Let's build marriages. Let's look at what the other side is doing and see how did they succeed, and let's bring it into our lives. And let's look at the real history and say, why was the whites, you know, 30% of the population? How did they go down? I mean, you can't say that the Jews made your daughters wear skirts when your grandparents, great grandparents didn't. And you want to deny that the ancestors dressed like Muslims in the hijab or chapeau. Yeah, but it's a fact they did, and that was the actual word. And you're lying to yourself. You just want to be a liar, you see, and that's what the evidence shows. You see? You know, and Fomenko is Germanic, so nobody can turn around and say he's a Mongoloid Russian, he's a Germanic Russian. Yeah, and he pointed this history out too. If somebody wants to say, "Oh, David, he's with the Jews," or David, "Oh, he's become a Muslim now," or David, he's with the evangelical Zionists. He's become a Christian now because David loves Christmas trees and Christmas, which I do. I'm not going to lie to you. I like it. And recently, after what you know, the war in Gaza, and what I saw, hatred against Christianity, I've started, and I saw the way many Christians spoke out with love. I actually thought, whoa, I'd love to be a Christian, because I felt their hearts and I felt the love there. So I'm saying now is the time. Let's bring Christianity to Islam. Let's bring Zionism to Christianity. Let's bring Islam to Zionism. Let's convert everybody to each other, and let's find a common agreement. Then that means Muslims have become Christians, Christians have become Zionists, Zionists have become Muslims. Everybody's become each other, and we with the things that we can agree on. So that's what Prince Charles says. I don't care if people call him an elite, but in public, I like his public statements, and I really like what he says. And he said, "We've got these common things. Let's unite on the common things." And then the thing is, the things that are causing the difference is mass migration, mass this, mass whatever. We'll remove it. We can remove it in a nice way by building the wall, and we can do it. There was this, you know, some people call him a right-wing Christian, pro-white, pro-whatever, and even he's noticed for the first time ever, the global economy is moving so fast that we can manufacture things so fast, mining so fast, everything so fast, because we've got the machinery, we've got the artificial intelligence, and we can make the world beautiful. Remember in the video about the New World Order in China, I showed you China has built 100 cities like New York. Were you not shocked? Are you not shocked by this?
Yes.
In 10 years, they built 100 cities as big as New York. So within 10 years, we could reverse migration. We can make the whole world beautiful in the next 10 years. We can actually do it. I'm pleading to everybody that if this is my last ever message, I'm pleading to everybody, let's do it. I'm pleading to them that politicians are forced to lie. Unfortunately, they are, because politicians and businessmen, it's not just all about money. They're scared of destabilization. They're scared of mass violence, mass this, mass that. Let's calm down. That if we start, let's study a bit more and think, how are we going to fix the problem in Syria so that millions of Syrians can go back? How are we going to fix the problem for the Kurds so that millions of Kurds can go back? How are we going to develop in England, there is mass racism against Albanians by the right wing. I don't know why they've targeted them in England anyway. Yeah, let's build Albania. We've got the cash. It doesn't mean that our economies will slow down. Right now, we've got the global system. We've got everything. What's preventing it is a lot of decisions are made based on fear of instability. Yeah, and that's why people say they do inside jobs to control people and things like this. It's because people don't need to smash windows in protest. People don't need to throw bricks in protest. I know about that protest we talked about, that they were throwing bricks, that maybe it was caused by an inside job anyway, and things like this, but the public didn't need to do that. And yeah, the vast majority of people in Europe, because they've been enjoying many of the things that we're stealing from the rest of the world, so the lower classes didn't educate themselves. And you'll see, especially many racist people, that you'll see them, that if you ask them just simple questions, they don't even have answers for it. That I saw this video of one person who was, in a protest with the right wing and said, "Oh my God, there's 200 million blacks in England right now and Muslims." And they said, "Oh my God, is there 200 million? Oh my God, there's so many of them." That's how dumb some of these people are. I'll tell you something, it's not a bad thing, because I'm dumb in certain subjects. Like when it comes to, operations in how to do a heart transplant or kidney transplant, I'm not a doctor, so I'm dumb in that aspect. I'm actually dumb. I'm admitting it. You can call me dumb in that aspect. And so the thing is, I don't want to learn it. I don't need to learn it right now. If I need to learn it, I will. So many of the lower classes, I'm using the word lower class because that's how they're termed by the decision makers, how they speak and how I've noticed. So the thing is that they don't see them as dumb. They say these people didn't learn these things because they don't need to and they don't want to. But so if they haven't, we don't need to educate them. It takes years to educate people. That's why there is the thing they're saying man should unite with the machine. Now, we don't need to totally become transhuman, but what we can do is microprocessors, you could attach them to your body so that your brain has access to all the information. And so that will make you clever as, to have all the information in the world. If you don't want to attach it to your body, okay, have it separate on a phone, but you could connect it wirelessly to the rest of your body. Like there's ways to it. If you study Parkinson's disease, then you will know that wiring is possible to the rest of your brain. Yeah, so humanity can benefit, but not so that they could switch you off or so that you be attached to it. We could find ways around it. There will be ways, I'm not sure how, but we'll find ways. Like like people have metal teeth inside them. I'm sure that there will be breakthroughs and ways to actually do it. Yeah, because the technology is there. But the thing is, this year many people are living in fear, yes, of how things could turn out economically, and if the rules-based international order break down. Many people want to break it down and cause a reset. Yes, there is many people who want it, just basically blow up half the world or more and depopulate people, all the uneducated trash and everybody else what we don't need, or if they're racist, all the what they call the dark races, get rid of them, or the genetically ugly ones, like if you, or genetic defects, like if you're white and you're not more than 7 feet tall within your family, then we don't want you around because you're not white enough or beautiful enough, because you're a dark race, because you're only like 5'2" or 5 foot or 5'1" or 5'3" or 5'4", so within your family, the majority are like that. So let's get rid of them. We don't want to get to that stage. We don't want to reset. Some people are talking about a global reset. So we don't want that. And why are they saying a global reset? If you understand the Philosopher's Stone, is if you reset everything, which they've done many times before, then the thing is you could bring up the new generation, new languages, and you hide the history of all the hatred. The thing is, the reasons for the reset, I'm telling you today, I'm telling you clearly, it's because of the hatred. Even you can see why the resets happened right now. You can see it right now, yes or no? There was that
Yes.
much hatred, that much nationalism, that you just cannot unite anybody. That people are stuck in their way saying, no, this is the word of God. No, this is my race. No, I've got to preserve this. And they just don't know that it wasn't worth it. You see, it wasn't worth it. It didn't work. That in the end, turned around and thought, hey, let's just have a reset. Then we'll create new nation states with our borders, and we'll create it with our races and whatever, which is what happened. Yeah. So if that's what they want, reset, it's going to happen. But if we're going to be sensible, then I think everybody should take it seriously, to end the hate and spread love and spread love. Even if there is the inside jobs and everything, you tell people, yeah, this has happened. and they've done all these false flags and everything, but they did them for certain reasons. And I'm being honest to you, even you know it now. 90% of Gaza has not been destroyed.
Right.
Do you know it now, or do you believe it? What the media is advertising?
Well, I generally don't believe what the media is
Yeah,
advertising, but yeah, no, I'm aware
yeah,
with all the, recent constructions or designated areas for demolition. Again, not saying that any time someone is hurt, there's too many people hurt or too many people
yeah,
dying,
yeah.
but
There's
the
people being
scale
hurt.
may be different than
It,
what they say or the details. Yeah.
it's like there's one girl I've been talking to, and I've grown attached to her in Gaza. And the thing is, her father was killed through some bombings, British American warplanes going past doing and saying target this place, and the Israelis through British, European military industrial complex workers making a salary from it, and their stock market money and their taxes being paid for the unemployed and keeping prices cheap so that they can buy imports from China, keeping the system running. And then those same people don't seem to understand. Yeah, so I can feel her pain, her and her sisters. They're without a father, and yeah, I've got to send them money for next month to support the entire family. Yes, there's many Jewish organizations who are doing this. Yeah, who are thinking, what the hell, this has happened, and it's been done in the name of Jewish people. And then, they've spread the hatred amongst the Zionists inside Israel too. That many people are saying Israeli society has become mad. Yes, but the thing is, they've become mad, and it's going to continue this year. It's like if people continue the hatred. Okay, we know now what's happened. We can't reverse it. Let's repair it and let's build a beautiful world. If we spread love, then we can bring about an administration in Israel. We could bring a new government in Israel. We will influence it. We will run the new world order. Do you see what message I'm saying?
The only thing I don't understand right now, maybe you can shed some light on this, that in Europe it seems, or at least in Austria, but also many other countries, that while the right wing is being kept out of the government, what they call right wing parties, they actually are becoming very, very popular. And I don't really understand how that is all supposed to work together, even though many right wing parties
Unfortunately,
support Israel at
we
the
are
same
all,
time.
yeah, okay. Now, when we talk about the right wing, I'm human. And shall I be honest to you? Unfortunately, when a fight starts, we get carried away. And in the end, fight, fights turn into violence. Violence then turns into severe violence. Then in the end, it turns into murder. And then one murder after another. That's what nationalism does, which is a fact. Where it doesn't matter which side of the world. We've seen, right-wing groups in India targeting Christians. Then Christians died. 2 months ago, we saw right-wing Indians targeting Muslims, and they murdered Muslims. So the thing is, but they murdered Indians who converted to Islam,
Yes.
and Indians who converted to Christianity, and they don't realize that they just murdered their own cousin for no reason in violence and in protests and things that got out of control. Yeah, there is many different people doing things, but our audience, people who are listening to us, many of them are sensible people. Yeah, they've got all their issues, beliefs, and everything. Think for a minute that there are people who want to do a reset so that they could start off all again. There are other people who want to create Armageddon. Yes, so that they can end the rules-based international order to create a new world order itself with digital technology. There's several plans. There is no agreement at the top. And then there are people who want to do things peacefully. There are people who want to deal with the status quo. There are people who want to continue the current system. There's many different things. But from what I can see from my travels, and I talk to too many people, I travel. This year I've traveled quite a lot and things like this, especially in Europe. I've traveled quite a lot. Yeah. And from what I can say and speaking to people, it's like this. What I can say to people, yeah, we've got our issues. Let's build the world. Let's build peace. And if we build the rest of the world, it'll take 10 years only, 20 years maximum. And then the thing is, if we are going to deal with immigration, these people will go anyway. We destroyed Algeria, so there's Algerians in France. So if they can, it won't take long. If we can help, and we help to build Algeria, then the Algerians, yeah, it's like if we ask them politely to go, let's say, then they're going to think, hey, why not go? But if we build it anyway,
You won't
many
have to
people.
ask them if it's a nice area and you
Yeah,
have
we don't even
economic
have to ask them.
development.
But it's like the original reason we could open a political debate in 10 years' time and say, why did you come? And they'll say, you trashed our homes, so we had nowhere to go. So then they'll say, we've now rebuilt it. What do you think about going back? And they'll say, have you rebuilt it? Yeah, we've got free houses for you, everything. And it's more beautiful than what you've got over here. Better weather. The vast majority would go back.
Yes.
Yes, the Syrians, it's like we did it to keep our military-industrial complex. I mean, they're turning around and saying, I saw this man from England making videos saying, look at all these Indians and Bangladeshis who are in Italy. You know about this? There's a huge number, yes?
I didn't know about those, no, but yeah.
Yeah, somebody's making a video, but I call him just some daft idiot who's making videos. Italy, the Italian military-industrial complex, which employs hundreds of thousands of people and it benefits their economy to keep it running, yes, was part of the NATO destabilization and bombing campaign in Libya where thousands died.
Yes.
And yeah, their country was more beautiful than Italy, yeah, where people had to work and everything. In their country in Libya, they've never had to ever work. They've had servants. So all these servants, yeah, who came from countries like Bangladesh and from Morocco, that were and Albania, who were working in Libya, suddenly lost their jobs because you blew up their jobs, Mr. Italy. So now these people, they didn't want to die from the bombs, so they got onto boats. Yeah, and they crossed over to Italy saying, we don't want to die. Stop bombing us, Mr. Italy. And now you're saying, oh, what the fuck are these people doing here? Is there something wrong with you? Are you mental? You're bombing him so he's going to run, isn't he?
Yes.
Raphael, if I'm going to bomb your house and you're
Yeah.
in Austria right now, yes, the thing is you've got Germany next door. Germans don't want anybody from Austria anymore now. Yeah, but now I'm Germany and I'm going to bomb you. So are you going to run into my house now because I'm bombing it?
I'd rather go to Hungary, but yeah, of course.
Well, I'm bombing Hungary too. The only place you can go is you can't
Yeah,
go next
well,
door
then I'm
because
gonna immigrate into your social security system.
yeah, well, you can die instead. You can
Yeah,
die or you can come over here. So which one are you going to do?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna immigrate into your social security system in Germany in this
So
case.
now the thing is, and I bombed you, then I forced you to come here, and I made you pay cash just to come here. And then when you come here, you got to work all the shitty jobs and work harder. But I'm German, and so my people get the better jobs. And then the lower classes who don't want to work, they can sleep around, do whatever they want: free houses, free cars, free money, free health service, free everything. And then when everything messes up, when my system's collapsing, they'll say, hey, it was the Jew. It was the Jew that brought him
Yeah,
here.
classic.
So who is it that's really done this?
Well, whoever started bombing, I guess.
I'm German, but you can't say anything because if you figure things out, if you speak against the Jew right now, I'm going to pretend and arrest you. It's called anti-Semitism. And the thing is, when you get arrested, you get mad and you're going to think, oh my God, it must be the Jews. But you don't understand. It's the German police force that came to arrest you, not the Jews.
Yeah.
And who commands them at the top? Not the Jews. You see? And then if I'm about to collapse, I'm going to blame it on the Jews.
Yes.
You see? Because no, everyone knows it. It couldn't have been the Muslims. They're dressed in their towels over their heads and the rags. Those rags and all these things. They're following the secret of the Kabbalah and the Philosopher's Stone. They're having children. They're moving forward and things like this. But the thing is, the people here over here, they want to enjoy the nice things in life. So I can't let them follow the Philosopher's Stone because now I've got to keep the hatred. So I've got to turn around and kill the Philosopher's Stone, but the population's going down. So it's backfiring. I don't know which way to go. But now I don't want to lose power, and the white population is going down, so the right wing is going to rise. So the thing is, the right wing is going to rise, but they don't have a solution either. Same like any other people. Same like the Chinese have got a low birth rate now. Japan cannot replace its population. This is not a race thing. Taiwan is not replacing its population. Hong Kong isn't replacing its population. China's birth rate is going down. Korea cannot replace its population. It's because once people have got this, nobody's looking at the other side of the world. Yeah, over there. Who the hell are they blaming for their birth rates? It's going down because people are enjoying themselves. People don't realize that in Japan, and I showed you Japan, China, and all these people over there, were they dressed like Muslims and were they following the same Sunni system or the Sunnah, Germanic word, Sunnah, the Sunnah, the sun? Were they following the system themselves?
Yeah.
Were they making the women dress like this and bow down and pray in their Shinto temples in the same way? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So that's what made their population go up like crazy in Japan. At the same time as the white European races in Asia, their populations exploded because they followed the Philosopher's Stone. Oh, China's population exploded because Chairman Mao made it a command that they should have many children. Nothing to do with the Philosopher's Stone. You see?
Yeah.
Islam is going up because naturally, if you go and check the Muslim families, go and watch what they're doing, saying, I want to study Islam, I want to study Orthodox Judaism, and go and study the Orthodox Jewish families and see what they're doing, how their family system works and everything, and how they educate their children and everything. And then it's an education system, it's a school of thought. That's why they were called professors. You see, that's why they turn around and call it the Sunni school of thought, the Hanafi school, the Jewish schools, the yeshiva schools, the Catholic schools. Do you have Catholic high schools? Yes. They were actually schools of thought because the prophets were professors. Any questions, Raphael? But I've made the case to please people. And the thing is, I've told people, focus on a global temple by global agreements. And the common things, they could practice them towards that temple. How Jesus Christ prayed, how Muhammad prayed. Muhammad prayed towards a temple, towards Jerusalem at the time. Yes, before Mecca. And it was because of disputes that they faced towards Moscow or Mecca. Yes, and then the thing is, you know, it became a command in the Quran. Yes, it became a command in Judaism for the to build the temple and many of these things. So we can do it by common agreement. You see, and many of the people of Judah are actually Muslims. There is Judah throughout Palestine and the Middle East, as you've noticed. Do you remember? We showed these families that came from Europe that are actually called Judah, that came from Russia. Yes, they came from Russia, and they came from, Germany. They migrated to the Balkans and they left because of the agreements with the Vatican. On this side of the Bosphorus and you on that side of the Bosphorus. So the thing is, the global situation has changed since then. Either they are going to force a new world order, yes, with their rules, or we could create our own world order with beautiful rules. I mean, they want to create a new world order anyway, not chaos. Let's keep order and let's build things the way we want to, but in a nice way we can do it. If China became like this, 100 cities like New York, then why can't they do this in Mexico? You see?
Yeah.
Why can't they do it for all of Latin America? Now, if they build beautiful homes and everything, and they establish, farming systems and everything over there using machinery, everything gets done. It'll take 10 years. Think in a nice way. Let's build the world, and then people will go different ways anyway. You see?
Yeah.
You see? It's a fact, yeah. That many of the migrants who came as refugees, or even before the refugee times, why did the Turks come to Germany? Didn't the Europeans occupy and trash Ottoman Turkish lands after
Mm.
World War One, and they stayed there for 50 years, and they trashed everything. Then they're saying these Turks came as guest workers. So now they've rebuilt half of Turkey, and a lot of Turks have gone back, and they've rebuilt half of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and a lot of Indians, Pakistanis, and Bangladeshis have gone back. I know you'll say it's not enough, yeah, and they've gone back, and
Well, it's a
they've
matter of scale also. Europe is much smaller than many, I mean, Central Europe is much smaller than many of these places, so
Central Europe is smaller, and the thing is, so what they did was they followed the Philosopher's Stone. They had a high birth rate, so they had to go all over the world. So what should we do? Let's build it with love, and people can go different ways. Because many of the people who came here originally from Algeria, Pakistan, Turkey, they came because their countries were trashed by the white European man. Their countries were raped. And they came so that they could earn money, so that they could rebuild things. And so let's help to rebuild things. That we could do it within 10 years. The global economy has moved forward a lot. We could do it in 10 years, maximum 20. And then the people who came for the purpose of rebuilding their lives and to gain things that were stolen by Europe anyway. Yes, they stole so much that they built Europe, and they stole so much they took it to the Americas and Australia and built beautiful cities. That's how much they robbed. You know they stole everything, but
yes,
no,
yes.
Mr. White nationalist, you're going to say we didn't steal anything. Yeah, you know, yeah, same like there's people who are saying, there was no genocide in Gaza, no murders. So now the thing is to calm down. The hatred has been done. The anger has been displayed. Even I'm angry with what's happened with a lot of the genocides and the European crimes. They didn't even report it here. I mean, why were they bombing Pakistan? The NATO drone war, American US drone war led drone war in Pakistan, and so many millions of Pakistanis came to England. And then the right wing, I'm in England, by the way, they've got the nerve to turn around and say, these people came from another society and they're doing these things. Hey, wait a minute. One, you bombed their houses. Two, you bombed their mosques. Oh, another thing. You're saying they're praying on the streets of New York, Paris, and then there's you see these with some ex-Muslims saying, I know I used to be a Muslim. They're doing it to make a statement saying, yeah, we're over here, we're going to pray here. No, they're making the statement because one in Europe went over there and bombed Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Lebanon, and Somalia. Yeah, Donald Trump and all these people, you got your man's military base over there and you trashed and bombed that country and then you call it a shithole? Why don't you fucking get out? Yeah, Mr.
Go
Man,
on.
why are you? Yeah, wait, you're there right now in their shithole and you're saying that they're over here. Why don't you just fuck off? Yeah, what are you doing in these African countries with you got 100,000 soldiers in all these other countries right now, more than 100,000. I don't even know how many. It's so many. What are they doing there, Raphael? Oh, by the way, I'm not trying to say I'm a black man myself or something. I'm trying to show the stupidity that one, he's saying the country's a shithole. Wait a minute, you bombed it, and two, yeah, you're a migrant yourself, Donny Trump. Why don't you fuck off? Yeah. Who are you? You're a criminal and you're claiming to be the leader of Indian land. And remember, I showed you a photograph of what the native Indians look like. Don't they look like the people of India and Pakistan? Half of them look like a bit like Mongoloid eyes, and the other half look like the Indians that we see that are in the West. Isn't this a fact?
Yeah.
Remember, yes, it was Indian territory. The Indians lived there, the Indian tribes. Some of them were dark skinned, some of them had the Mongoloid eyes, some of them looked like Turks, a bit more wider, and we've seen the Seminole Indians and all these others. Yes, and some of them there were all sorts. It's Indian territory, and you don't like it, but this is the truth. Is there any other history, Raphael? Today I've got down to the nitty gritty. I've explained everything. You should
Yes.
be able to figure out the rest of history. Is that the actual history?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the actual history. I don't know what else to say. We can fight about it and go on forever. You're on stolen people's land, and you're saying all these migrants who are coming. I mean, what the hell were you doing bombing Pakistan? And then you're saying there's these Pakistanis over here in England. Yeah, yeah. It was only a small number who were here. But for the last 25 years, after September the 11th, you did mass scale bombing, thousands and thousands of homes, and they all came over here. Yeah, and then you bombed their mosques. Wait a minute. Then you won't give them the money to build a mosque in England, saying, "Oh no, we're not having a mosque in a minute here." All right, then they're playing on the streets.
Yeah.
What are they supposed to do? You went and you're saying, "Hey, go to England, or we're going to bomb you. Go to America, or we're going to bomb you. We'll just come here, and we're going to bomb you." Our excuse is September the 11th, and we're bombing, every village here in Pakistan in the northwest. They basically bombed every damn village over there. Do you know this? Give me an answer, Raphael.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's absolutely insane, and it's a very one-sided view. This is how the petty change is being made in politics by always
Oh, okay,
omitting half the
okay,
story.
Raphael. Okay, Raphael, to end the problem, yes, what we should do is pay the money for these mosques. They can have them in Europe. If you don't want them in Europe, pay for the money for their mosques in
Of
Pakistan
course, they'll be
or in
a lot cheaper
Afghanistan.
too. Yeah, sure.
It's a lot cheaper.
The only question
Yeah,
is if we will have enough
yeah,
workforce here for
and
all
pay
the
for their
menial
homes.
jobs if all the
And
immigrants
they
go
had
home.
all the freedoms that they can't have over here. Yeah, they could buy the cheap Chinese what's that solar panel that you have to pay the extra tax for in Europe and America. They had all the free energy. They didn't even have to go to work half the time. They had their local farms. We poisoned it with the bombs. They had everything. But now we've done it so that then they have to buy all the brands, re-educate them, reprogram them. We've made them life difficult for them to even go back. We've destroyed their entire environment
Yeah.
with all the chemicals. And then, so these people are saying, they're praying on the streets. You bombed their mosques, by the way. Where are they supposed to pray now? And you'll say, oh, they're trying to make a statement. They could pray inside the mosques in England, by the way, or in Holland or wherever. If you really know, they don't give permits for many of the mosques, by the way, in Europe. And you're saying there's too many of them already. Yeah, so let's fix this problem. Yeah, let's give them the money to rebuild their houses, clean their environments, and rebuild their mosques. And I'm sure that the vast majority would actually go back home.
Yeah.
I really know that they would go back home. I've interviewed many of them, and many of them have said, actually, oh, it's cold in Europe. I really like it in Lebanon. You know, and the Americans have bombed here, used their proxies, pretending it's the Israelis. Yeah, when it's the American F-35 with the American bomb and the American pilot who's a dual citizen. Yeah, who's not even Jewish either, and he's an Israeli, but he's an American who lives in Miami. Yes, who's not even Jewish. And then they're saying Israel bombed Lebanon, and these Lebanese are living in Paris, or living in New York, or living in Melbourne. Do you see how much of a joke it is?
Yes, yes.
Oh, by the way, in the Middle East, I don't know if you know, that even right now, many of them cannot rebuild. Did you know that the Americans and the British and NATO and the Europeans have actually made it impossible for most of the Middle Eastern countries to actually trade with China? Like right now, they're trying to stop Venezuela. Did you know they've already done this with half the Muslim countries? Do you
No.
know this? Oh, Mr. Muslim, you're not even a migrant. You're in your land. One, we won't let you use your currency. Two, you can't build your army. Three, you can't build your air force. Four, you can't even have nuclear power. Five, you can't buy cheap solar panels from the Chinese. You can't buy most of the cheap Chinese goods or anything. You got to do it through us. You can't even use any of their currencies, the Chinese RMB. You got to use our dollar. You got to do everything what the white man says, even right now. And we're going to keep you poor. Any of your people come, we're going to say, oh, you're brownies and blackies, or you don't have the same rights. You can't build your mosques over here or anything, and stuff like this. And when you come, we'll call you rapists and backwards, murderers, migrants, and all this sort of garbage, and we'll call your country shitholes. But we won't let you trade or do anything. This is what these bastards are doing. And then, yeah, and then they're turning around and saying these people are coming. I mean, and then you're turning around saying, oh, they can't come and live here. Oh no, they're over there. Oh no, you can't do trading with them because you got to do trading with us. Oh, you can't use your own currencies. You got to use ours. I mean, who do you think you are? Yeah, and then you're going to blame it all on the Jews. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
if
interesting.
something goes wrong, blame the Jew or blame the Muslim. Islamophobia, anti-Semitism. Let's end this. Let's end all the racism. Let's build a better world. And many people who came because we blew up their houses, yeah, can rebuild their homes and go back. And to end all the religious hatred and all the things, let's make a common agreement between all the religions and find the commonness, as Prince Charles pointed out, which is a great idea. And many Zionists want this. I mean, we don't have to do it by fighting Palestinians and throwing them out of their houses. We don't need to do that. And we can show the Israelis we don't need to do that either. And so if we join all these movements that are for beautiful things and help build a beautiful world. Now that's my message to everybody for the new year. Happy New Year. Any questions, Raphael? Or let's leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that. I think you answered many questions. You gave a great outline once again. Thank you so much, David. All I can say is, obviously, I agree with the idea that there is common ground. There is a lot of past to let go. There's a lot of past also to revisit, and as you mentioned, to sort out the fake history so we don't fall into the same traps. And other than that, all I can say, just from my own perspective, I would also very much prefer a continued development that makes sense for everyone rather than resetting everything. I think that would be a big waste.
Yes, that's true. And if people want more information, there's my books. Happy New Year. And I hope that this year, not that the world wakes up, it's woken up a lot, but that the world's people take action to make this world a better place. Okay. Have a happy New Year.
Thank you,
Okay,
David.
Raphael.
I wish for love and peace. Thank you so much for explaining all these things. And of course, thanks everybody for listening. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Bye.